2, 3, 4.
Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are blessed and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've undone. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are blessed and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've undone. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what you've undone. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity, all are welcome here, all are blessed and a blessing to be. Beloved community, we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community, uncovering who we are in our beloved community, uncovering who we are in our beloved community.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa. I'm Nancy Reynolds, a member of the center. Happy to be sharing this very wet, drippy solstice morning with all of you. And also happy to be sharing it with our fabulous band. Shall we tell them how we feel? When life feels loud and demanding, it can be easy to believe we have to push harder to find our way. Yet the science of mind reminds us that true direction often rises from moments of quiet. In stillness, we step back from the swirl of thoughts, soften the body, and listen beneath the noise. In this silence resides Spirit, speaking softly with the strength of 1,000 mountains. Whether you're in the room or watching us online, you are welcome here, where we recognize the voice of the living Spirit within all people equally and diversely. Will you please join me in reading our mission? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We embody this mission through our 5 core spiritual practices. Will you read those with me as well? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. We use flowers to send messages of love and appreciation to people in our community. And today, we celebrate Christopher Fritchie, who is hitting a... And why now? Because Christopher is hitting a big milestone birthday this week. I wasn't going to say it, but okay, yeah. He's finally as old as I am. For 17 years, Christopher has been our music director. And in that time, he's become so much more than that title suggests. Christopher brings excellence to everything he touches. The music he creates fills this space with beauty and joy, and his presence does the same. He's the kind of teacher who doesn't just share his gifts, but works to draw out the gifts in others. He makes people shine. He's also the person who moves chairs and tables, staffs events, and jumps in whenever there's a need, whether it's in his job description or not. Professional, committed, always showing up for his community in ways both seen and unseen. Christopher, you make us better. I'm not done. Okay, there's more. There's a little more. Christopher, you make us shine. Thank you for 17 years of music, presence, and always showing us what it means to truly serve a community. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We're all crushing on Christopher, aren't we? Yeah. The best. We would like to now extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, if you would stand as you're able or simply raise your hand right where you are, our ushers would like to bring you a welcome packet and a flower as a token of our appreciation that you're here with us today. And if you're watching online, would you take a moment to give us a comment or say hello in the chat so we know that you're there? I trust that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and the message from Dr. Edward is exactly what each of us is ready for the next step of our spiritual journey. Again, you are welcome here. Now, please enjoy this next song, which will lead us into a time of silent contemplation and prayer.
Take a deep breath. This next piece is call and response, and you can sing along with the trio. When I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I feel the one. When I'm still, I feel the one behind it all, the one behind it all, the one that I can call, the one that I lose my way, when 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 I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I feel peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I know peace. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I see the one. When I'm still, I feel the one. When I'm still, I feel the one behind it all, the one behind it all, the one that I can call, the one that I can call. When I lose my way, 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 gonna find my way, gonna find my way.
Sitting in this stillness, this thing called life, that is whole and perfect, limitless, without boundaries. It is right here, right now, ever present, ever flowing, ever creating. The breath I breathe is the breath of this divine source. It infills me with its love, its peace, its harmony. And just as this is true for me, it is true for each and every one here in this sanctuary and online watching. And I accept that in this stillness is the strength of this divine source, infilling each of us with its peace and its harmony, even in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of holiday season that may be filled with joy, but may be also filled with heartache. But the divine is right there, ever present within us, grounding us, supporting us, creating all that is. It is infinite, and it is right here, right now. And so with a heart filled with such gratitude for the joy and the gifts that are ever present in and through all of life, I release this word into that infinite mind, knowing that it is already done. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. My name is Lorena Fisher. I'm a prayer practitioner here at the center. Won't you please join me in reading today's affirmation? In stillness, I find strength and renewal, and so it is.
Got more singing for you to do. This one also has some call and response in it. Hope you'll join us. 3, 4. just a spoke in the wheel, one grain of sand, but it feels so right to be right where I am. One little part of a much bigger plan, and the longer I'm here, the more I understand. I am one, I am one, we are one, we are one, like the rays, of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one, we are one. I'm just one drop of rain that falls from the sky, that runs to the stream, to the ocean by and by. And I could do worse than to give myself up on the crest of a wave on this ocean of love. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one, we are one gentle touch, one loving word, one gentle step towards a kinder world. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one, we are one gentle touch, one loving word, one single step towards a kinder world. I am one, we are one, like the rays of the sun, when it's all said and done, I am one, we are one, I am one, we are
Oh, thank you very much, gentlemen of the band, and good morning to you. It's so nice to see you, and you may notice that the configuration of chairs is different. This is how it used to be. We used to sit like this, and it gives me appreciation for the new configuration, which makes us feel closer to each other. But we're sitting like this because we're getting ready for December the 24th, Christmas Eve, and that's why you see the emerging decoration, and the choir is coming, and there'll be tables of salt for candles in the front. It's all coming together behind the scenes. The word meditation is very important to us in our tradition, and to some people it suggests an image of stillness, closed eyes, and a mind that's gone blank, like this fog that is sitting all over our city at the moment. But for some people, that doesn't really work, not at all. It's not easy. So today, I want to talk about some other kinds of stillness, each with their own strength. And I want to talk about this because the inner guidance that Science of Mind talks about, the spirit within, it's present for us in those moments of contemplation and meditation and prayer, but it's also present throughout all of the activities of our life, whether we're volunteering for our favorite organization, or sitting at a family holiday dinner where opinions are flying like jet planes, or wading through complicated medical insurance documents, or applying for a job or a university, or changing a light bulb, or doing a jigsaw puzzle. See, Science of Mind teaches us that there isn't a single place or a single way for us to access the guidance of the Spirit within. Instead, there are as many ways as there are people. That's how many ways exist for us to tune in to the stillness within. So today I'm going to share some unconventional examples, and one of these may resonate with you. And if it does, that could be a sign for you to practice more of it. For example, let me tell you about Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, who worked with trauma survivors quite long before somatic therapy became mainstream. He noticed that the traditional style of talk therapy and silent reflection would sometimes overwhelm his patients. If he asked them to sit still and go inward, not all patients felt more peaceful. Indeed, the invitation seemed to trigger the very response that the therapy was meant to ease: stress. What did help, though, was slow, repetitive movements, such as walking, gentle yoga, and everyday tasks when performed with a kind of easy rhythm of repetition. Because then the motion created a form of stillness in which the whole nervous system could settle down, because they weren't being forced into a disciplined silence. And so it turns out that the body, when it finds its own pace, it can encourage thought to soften, because there is less pressure to perform. And then the movement becomes a container for silence. So I'm thinking maybe there is something that you're going to be doing today anyway. Making lunch, doing the laundry, tidying up, shopping. Perhaps you can bring this gentle watching attitude to what you're doing today. Look for the rhythm in it. And then stillness then can become less about silencing the mind and more about letting this gentle activity and your attention to the motion and rhythm of it anchor you in a peaceful stillness. For some of Dr. Kolk's patients, stillness couldn't arrive at all until the body felt safe enough so that it could be present. And that safety came through movement, not through forced stillness. The movement is what contained the place of peace. Now, science of mind recognizes this and recognizes that our unity with spirit arises in all kinds of activities. There's not one way, one size fits all. Our connection to the divine can emerge while we're reading, while we're counting our breath, while we're singing, or while we're walking the dog, or repeating any task that allows thought to soften. In this way, then, the body can lead us to powerfully strong experiences of silence. But what about those times when the body reacts to perceived threats and becomes tense? At times like those, there's another kind of stillness that we can tap into. And I call it the stillness of non-reaction. Let me tell you about John Lewis, who grew up in the Jim Crow South and became one of the original freedom riders in the 1960s. Freedom riders were civil rights activists who rode on interstate buses into the segregated states in the 60s to challenge those states that ignored the United States court's decision to desegregate buses, public buses. At 20 years of age, he got onto interstate buses heading into the deepest parts of segregated America, knowing that violence likely was waiting for him at nearly every stop. Now, before the rides began, he and other activists, they trained themselves in non-violent resistance. And this is how they did it. They mentally rehearsed the potential dangerous scenes before they left. They even practiced being hit and spat at. They taught themselves to feel their bodies flood with adrenaline, reactivity, and fear, while at the same time deliberately and consciously choosing the strength of remaining perfectly still. Now, this wasn't an act of passivity or cowardice. This was an act of powerful self-awareness. John Lewis described learning to observe his bodily reactions and hold them in silence. I can imagine that everything inside of him wanted to do something, to match the energy being directed at him. But he stayed still, centered in his vision of a more egalitarian life for himself and for all of those who would follow after him. This is the stillness of resistance, the refusal to let someone else's chaos or anger determine your next action. Near the end of his life, he wrote about these times. We were determined not to let any act of violence keep us from our goal. We knew our lives could be threatened, but we had made up our minds not to turn back. In a way, this reminds me of something our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, taught us. He taught us that the dominant tone of our consciousness influences what we will do next. I relate. When anger intensifies and quickens my mind and my thoughts fly like jet planes, what follows is potentially hazardous and problematic. When I can hold my reaction and let it slow down, it creates the space for something more deliberate and centered to come into play. Well, let's talk about that deliberateness. Here's another example of deliberate silence, stillness. Not to quieten the mind, but to meet urgency when it's directed at us, external urgency, to meet it with strength. And here's what I mean. Picture a community meeting, a city hall meeting, something like that, where urgency presses from every side. Decisions are expected. There are voices that want resolution now. And enter Wilma Mankiller, who slows everything down to the speed of respectful witnessing through the use of deep listening. Now, just as John Lewis's stillness was an act of resistance, Wilma Mankiller's stillness was an act of inspired leadership. Let me tell you about her first. She was a Native American activist, social worker, and community developer, and the first woman elected to serve as the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. And she practiced a style of community engagement that understood the power of stillness because she allowed people to speak and to be fully heard in their own time. Even when doing so, slowed the decision-making process to a frustrating pace. Because she understood that clarity sometimes arrives only after the pause is allowed to be present. She understood that somewhere in the space, the silence between arguments, clarity awaits. So I can imagine that she taught people to be comfortable with uncomfortable silence, because she understood that wisdom can take a moment to surface. Now, this is the strength of stillness in leadership, and I call it refusing to move or act before understanding arrives. In our prayer life, we could also apply more of that wisdom. We could let there be more spaces between the sentences of our prayers. We could let there be more space between the ideas of our prayers. We could set aside the idea of perfectly formed prayer ideas and correct language. We could let the ideas of prayer find their shape in their own unrushed time. Ernest Holmes practiced this kind of contemplation. He didn't try to silence his mind. He created space, like an atmosphere or an attitude that allowed insight to organize itself. He didn't go for strict discipline. He taught us that stillness itself gives ideas time to form. We could do more of that in our prayer and our practice. We could do more of that in our conversations and relationships. Now, just as stillness allows wisdom to surface in leadership and relationship, it's also really good for allowing healing to surface in times of deep grief and sorrow. So here's another example of the strength of silence in a different kind of listening environment. Circles specifically created for people who are grieving. I'm talking about the work of Frances Weller, a therapist who's worked with collective grief for decades, facilitating grief circles. And in these circles, no one is forced to speak. Silence is not treated as something to be solved. And so in his writings, he describes the importance of allowing a pause to remain without rushing to reassurance, to explaining, to make meaning. So I'm imagining one of those circles, where tears have time to dry on their own without being hurried to be brushed aside. Where breathing is allowed to steady itself, all by itself. I'm imagining the circle staying present for what is, without trying to get through it and avoid the discomfort, without giving advice, with no one fixing anything, and nobody has to say a word. Just the stillness, holding what needs to be held. And in that environment, nothing gets pushed forward before it's ready. This might be the hardest stillness for some of us to learn and adapt. I think perhaps it's because we're trained, or we have the inclination to fill silence quickly, and in the environment of grief, to offer comfort quickly, to provide perspective, to explain, to remind someone that time heals all, to offer a positive affirmation, to say that everything happens for a reason. But consider this. Sometimes maybe what we are being invited to do in the presence of hardship or grief is to remain present with the hurt without any agenda, without pressure to make someone feel better, to just give our time and strength through the stillness we bring. This I would call the stillness, or the strength of stillness as a witness. I describe it like this: being with rather than doing to. We practice this kind of listening at our board of trustees, our elected leadership. We listen together once a month. We meet and sit in a circle, and we listen to each other. And some trustees have said that after completing their 3 years of service, they report that those listening circles were the highlight of their service. And they say they received more as trustees than what they gave, and often they attribute it to this experience of deep listening. One trustee said that the listening circles were a powerful form of therapy that made them, for the first time in their lives, feel truly witnessed and seen. Now, across these examples today, the strength of stillness has appeared in different forms. Number one, the strength of stillness that arises when we allow the body to move in its own pace and settle as it needs. Number two, the strength of stillness that remains steady when we are provoked by external forces. Number three, the strength of stillness that allows understanding to ripen and develop in an unrushed way. And number four, the strength of stillness that stays present even when difficulty and hurt is being experienced. Now, the common thread throughout these is that the strength of it comes when we stop forcing life to respond on our schedule. That's something we're thinking about on this longest night of the year, when nature is losing its grip on the light. Outside, trees stand without instruction, being, and the ground holds its breath, so to speak, as if something wants to happen. And inside of us, something similar happens. Life flows without instruction, as if something is on the brink of happening, reminding me of a stillness within that is completely natural. Perhaps the invitation for tonight is this: let the pace of your life soften to what feels completely natural to your body and your mind and your heart. And whether that speed is complete silence or more rhythmic activity, let it be okay. And let it lead you to the self within. That's true strength. Now, for our prayer practice today, I'm going to invite you to participate and read with me. You were given the prayer when you came in, and we will also project it on the screen so that those people watching at home can read it as well. Where did I put it? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, before I read it, let me tell you that this style of prayer is slightly different from usual. You'll see that it is called a personal devotional prayer, and it addresses the spirit within as you and thou and thee. We take it for granted that we're not talking about an external force. We are addressing the self within. It's a style that Ernest Holmes used in his teaching quite frequently and interchangeably with the more formal spiritual mind treatment. So I invite you to breathe in, and let us begin reading. Infinite presence within, the one life that lives through all of us. We pause here on this longest night to recognize you. We recognize that while the world may ask for speed, your wisdom often speaks in the pause. We open ourselves now to the many paths of stillness. We give thanks for the stillness that comes with movement. We bless the rhythm of our footsteps and the steady work of our hands, the washing of dishes, the folding of laundry, the walking of the dog. We recognize that when we let the body lead with a gentle, repetitive pace, the mind softens and the nervous system finds its home in your peace. We call upon the strength of the witness within, like those who have walked before us. We claim the power to stay centered when the world is chaotic. May we hold our reactions with a holy stillness, refusing to let another's anger or urgency dictate the dominant tone of our being. We are the steady center of our own lives. We honor the sacred pause where wisdom ripens. We release the pressure of instant answers and instead invite the deep listening that honors every voice. In the space between our thoughts, we allow half-formed ideas to find their shape and contradictions to find their common ground. We trust that your guidance arrives exactly when it is ready. Finally, we rest in the stillness that stays present. We release the urge to fix or to fill the silence with easy explanations. We commit to witnessing the healing that happens when we are fully with one another without an agenda. Outside, the trees stand in their winter rest, and here within our own minds and hearts, we do the same. We let our pace soften to what is natural. We trust the self within, and so it is. Followed by a breath in and an exhalation. And we use that breath to make a transition from our time of prayerful reading together to practicing circulation, meaning supporting our center financially. I invite the ushers to stand as you prepare your gift and repeat after me our sharing affirmation. I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
I don't know about you, but I want to just hang out in that stillness. It's so beautiful. Yeah, we have some wonderful celebrations coming up in the next 10 days that for me, are going to add more moments of stillness amongst this busy holiday season. So I want you to picture this. Some elegant, inspiring music from the Center Choir and talented musicians led by Christopher Fritchie. A heartwarming holiday message from Dr. Edward, and the warm light of hundreds of candles infused with the intentions of you, your friends, and your family. That's our Christmas Eve candle lighting service on Wednesday the 24th. We have 2 services at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, I invite you to come early and get your seat and get your parking spot. And if you'd like an easier parking experience, you may want to come to the 8 p.m. service when people typically find fewer cars in the parking lot. And then speaking of parking, please don't forget that we have additional lots to the west side of the building. That's the gravel lot and the AT&T parking lot. So plenty of space for everybody. And for anyone who can't attend the Christmas Eve services in person, and for all of our friends online, we will live stream the 6 p.m. service. So you won't miss the music and the message. And Christopher also has a special invitation to add.
I do. So you know, Christmas for musicians starts a lot earlier than December. For me, it starts actually like in August when I start looking at Christmas music for the coming Christmas. I can record the parts and get it all out to the choir, so the choir can start rehearsing in September. All the rest of the musicians started rehearsing with us a couple weeks ago, and we're to the point where we would love to have an audience to hear us do our dress rehearsal before Christmas Eve. So I want to invite you to come on Tuesday night. We'll start the run through at 8 o'clock. And so if you can't come to the regular Christmas Eve service, you can come to that, or come and hear the music twice. All right? I hope a lot of you will come. It's nice to have an audience. 8 o'clock on Tuesday night.
Thank you, Christopher. So then the next day, on Christmas morning, well, the next day after the Christmas Eve candle lighting service, not the next day after the dress rehearsal. We always get these dates mixed up in our heads, I think. All right, so on Christmas morning, you can carry the energy of the Christmas Eve service to our Christmas morning Zoom service, which will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's Thursday. There will be music, inspiration from Reverend Tara, as well as love and community, coming to you live in the comfort of your own home over Zoom. So hot chocolate, hot tea, whatever your hot drink is, highly encouraged, but of course it is BYO since you'll be at home, so bring your own. Then there is one more cherished tradition before the end of the year, and that is our World Peace Meditation. Peace has the power to bring people from many different paths together in a common cause. And this year is the 40th anniversary of this event. The World Peace Meditation is on Wednesday, December 31st at 4 a.m. in person at the center. We will be meditating on peace with people all over the world who gather at the same time we gather, whatever that hour is where they are. It's a beautiful tradition. Now, December 31st is also the final day that our Board of Trustees will be accepting applications for the 3 spots opening up on our board in 2026. And I'd like to add to what Dr. Edwards shared. I remember when I applied to serve on the board in 2019, and I knew I wanted to get more involved at the center, and I was looking for a way to serve. And what I got by serving on the board was spiritual living, just like the name of our center. Our 5 core spiritual practices alive in my life and supporting me day in and day out. And that was really crucial at that time. I don't know if you remember 2020, something big happened in the world. And it was also the time when I was caring for my elderly parents in their final years. And to have the support of spiritual living got me through those times. And I also came to understand how vitally important it is that this center thrives. So if you're interested in holding this community in trust by sharing your talents and leadership and growing spiritually at the same time, I want to invite you to pick up an application. You can do that at the information desk. You can also get it on our website. And then again, the applications are due by the 31st of this month. I have another invitation for you. Many of you knew our friend Alan Yeager, who passed last month. Alan's memorial is scheduled for Saturday, January 10th at 2 p.m. here at the center and is open to everyone. The family invites guests to bring cookies and finger food to share. Now, I have two things for you that are happening today. The first is our grief and loss support group, which is happening today, right after this service. So if you're experiencing any grief or loss in your life, I want to invite you to join that group. It meets upstairs next to the library. There's a room right up there, and that will be right after service for about 45 minutes. And then the last thing, just a reminder, you may have noticed we still have some beautiful art on the walls out in the social hall. Those are from our art and craft fundraiser, which, by the way, was a tremendous success. We raised nearly $9,500 for the center. Yeah, really tremendous. So I want to just say thank you to all the people who donated, all the people who purchased art. This was truly a community event. And so we also have to really thank the people who organized this, the hours and hours that they put in to make this. What a beautiful event it was. So thank you to everybody. And the way you know if a piece of art is available is if it does not have a red dot. So I'll send you on a search for red dotless art out in the social hall. Okay, that's it from me. I want to wish you happy holidays, and I will see you on Christmas Eve.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you for being here. And thank you very much to the people in the technical realm in the booth there that make our online streaming go so beautifully. You know, on rainy days like this, we're all connected on Slack. We talk to each other. There's this whole behind the curtain, there's this whole network of people helping make the center run beautifully. And we see that when attendance is lower here, it's larger online and goes like this. And it takes a lot of people to make this available. And the lovely thing about it is we can stay connected to our community from wherever we are. One of our trustees was on the other side of the world, and she just told me this morning she watched our service from all the other side of the planet. And we have people that watch in the UK and in Spain and on the East Coast. So we have a community that goes beyond our physical walls. And that's a lovely thing to know, that we're offering the Center for Spiritual Living as an experience of spiritual practice that has the intention to raise humanity to its spiritual magnificence, one consciousness at a time. That means you and I. Love that we're on this journey together. And sometimes we have bumps on the road and things get difficult. Or maybe things are just exciting and you want some support holding that excitement. That's the time to reach out for prayer support. And that is available online in our Zoom room. Go to our website and you'll find the information there. And it's also available in person right here at the center. If you haven't tried it, please do. I've told this story often, but one person who attended the service for maybe 20 years finally heard me say, if you haven't tried it, try it. And she went and got prayer after service, and she came to me and said, oh my God, that is the best kept secret. I can't believe I waited this long to have somebody tell me the truth of my being in no uncertain terms. Now, I mention that because there is power in doing our own prayer for ourselves. And sometimes when we hear that clarity reflected back to us through the voice of another point of consciousness within the mind of the one, it has a special quality that goes into our heart. It's a lovely thing to do. Get prayer. I don't think you'll regret it. I think you'll enjoy it. With that in mind, won't you please stand saying, something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are. that you have only to look within at any moment, to know that you're guided, sustained, and inspired by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on Christmas Eve, and let's close in song.
I am the prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. In every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose fear to release. Every moment love wakes up, and peace is every step.